in like 3 to 4 parts. Like we will uh, just discuss in brief how what we felt was important, and then we can go to the Q&A session. So
All
preparation,
right,
practice,
let's
practice,
go.
test. Yeah.
So, first point is for preparation, and within that, we have said that follow the schedules given by the faculty members. Now, this is quite a seemingly obvious point, but that you, as academy students or as someone who might be going through their course right now, you might feel that it is an obvious advice. When you actually give your GRE, maybe you don't know yet when you are going to give your GRE. Maybe you are not uh, anymore in the course. Then in that duration, you don't really tend to follow that so religiously. So we thought that this point should be mentioned first because the schedules given by faculty members are based on experience, and that's pretty much it. It works. So you have to follow to that, and as long as you follow it, you will face no worries. You will have a smooth learning experience, and all your doubts and everything, all your margins are perfectly set. So everything is good. So you have to follow the schedule given by the faculty members. Uh, I'll go to the next point, handing over to Ishwari.
Yes. Now moving to the specific parts, we have been given like really precise schedule. So after that, I would say for vocab especially, uh, you can do like I think Prachi ma'am suggested at the very beginning, but vocab from the Magoosh app or any other sources that you are comfortable with, but at least try to complete 1,000 words, and that really helps. So like what we found is if you even if you do like 1,000 words, you are almost prepared for every word if possible. So yeah. And next, yeah. Now I think ma'am mentions this a lot of times that before moving to any of the tests, do complete focus practice. So once you're done with your textbooks, we what we found is completing focus practice would give us an idea, give us a very good idea with the concept. So we know how to solve it, and then we can move on to the time management part. Yeah. Uh, and then the obvious uh, point, ETS. Do not forget to do the ETS syllabus and the practice problems before attempting the mock test. Yeah. So again, once you are done with the focus practice properly, you can move to the timed practice. And here, what we found for ourselves was during the focus practice, it was quite easier. But when the time starts clicking, it is a little difficult. Like you tend to make mistakes that you would never do in focus practice. So I think that is something for which the timed sessions or the mixed problems you can always do that. Next.
Now, this is a feature of Oak platform that there is one free CBT in addition to the five tests you get as a part of your package. So we feel that you should start with this at least 3 weeks before actual GRE because and if you can start earlier, then that is also good. So at least is like the hard deadline for that because after that you won't have time to complete the remaining part of the preparation which you are supposed to do in the last few days. Then so I'll just yeah. Uh, so The remaining part of it is that the ETS mock test. So with your GRE, you get two free ETS mock tests, mock GRE papers. They are perfectly full length papers, and you get everything with that. It is just like how it will be on the GRE day. So you should definitely complete those, because some people might feel a slight variation, ups and downs in the difficulty level of ETS questions, ETS. They are the same as the O questions, but it is a personal opinion. So we suggest that since ETS is the one conducting GRE, you should give these tests very religiously. And after you complete your mock test one, you can go to the other papers of O platform, and then you can do your ETS mock test two. You can save it for the end, basically, so that near when it comes near to test day, say 2 3 days, you can give this test, and that will be a good parameter to judge your preparation. This is a very important note, that do not skip the analytical section. We don't uh, focus on analytical section as much, and you should really not skip the analytical section. That's just it. That's the baseline of it.
Yes. I think one thing we would like to note here is we usually give practice tests on our laptop, right? So if you are on the test day, you are going to give it on a PC. So make sure you can try giving the analytical section using a computer keyboard if you have one. That will help you get like acquainted with it because it's quite larger keyboard than a normal laptop one. So that is something we practice, and it has helped us a lot with the speed management and stuff.
Coming to the test day preparations, now these are two very important points. Sorry, that you have to make sure that you reach before the given reporting time. If you are choosing the Oaks Center, then you are already familiar with the center, and that really helps. So to try to get that one. But even if you're not, you should check the center out prior to actually going there on the test day. And on the test day itself, you should reach on time well before the given time, because uh, that helps you sort everything out, because you have to read out a paper, and then they check you, and you have to do your passport verification, and you might not know where those things will happen at the center. Over here, it's just the center and the office. So we know that because we are going there every day. But at any other center, you might not know. So you should check it out beforehand, and you should reach well within time. And then this is also the most important point: stay calm. Because uh, of course, Ishwari will also talk about this, but staying calm is key to cracking GRE for a very large extent, up to a very large extent, because it is not difficult. The questions are for quant. They seem the topics are seemingly basic. The topics are not that something we have not learned. They are we have been practicing these since 5 6 years at least, some of us, most of us, and these are not difficult questions. Even for English, if you have your vocabulary done, these are not difficult questions. The key thing is when you start timed practice, your focus, your performance parameter changes from accuracy to accuracy on clock. So that is a whole new thing, because when you start timing practice, then you will realize that oh, I'm able to do this question but not under the clock. So we'll talk about that further as well, but that's the crux of it.
Yes.
Yeah, the more you stress, the worse it will go. That is that is the proportionality.
Yes. So, on the test day, like Tushar said, do not stress out because, um, again, it is something that we have been doing since quite a lot of time. It is not nothing new as such, but you tend to take a lot of stress, and that makes things worse. If you can see, I have quite a good quant score, but my verbal is a little less. But and much part of it is because of the stress I took on the test day. So it is not, it is like me and Tushar prepared pretty much the same thing. And yet we have quite a difference in the scores because I was not able to handle my stress quite well. The next thing that uh, we would like to mention is do not pay attention to what others are doing during the test, especially. So what happens is in the Oak Center, we would definitely recommend taking the Oak Center because it is very convenient to us. But even then, if you go there, once you're there, do not pay attention to what others are doing. Do not pay attention to like there will be times when they will be having their everyone has their analytical session first, right? So while you are thinking to write your own, you might hear people's keyboards, uh, typing. So make sure that does not bother you, and you can keep continuing with your own uh, session. The next thing is do not carry the stress from the previous section. So I think that this is a very common trait that we follow that uh, since the GRE is an adaptive test, we usually tend to be like, अरे यार ये section easy आया क्या ये मुश्किल आया क्या how is this like did I do well in the previous section? So do not do that, especially on the test day. Once it's done, it's done. What is more important is the current section. And again, like GRE is not about how hard the like more than how hard the section is. It is more about how many correct answers you give. So make sure you do not uh, mess your current section because of some uh, other thought process that is going on in your mind. And as for someone like I would say, if you're following the oak strategies, then you are good to go. So like keep that in mind. Be confident on your test day because I would say, see, we have been going to Oak for a reason. We have a lot of tons of resources everywhere, and why we chose Oak was because it gives a very precise, you know, a very jotted down, precise syllabus. So if you're doing that, it is completely it is like perfectly enough. So you have done enough and you are on the test day with a perfectly prepared mind. So do not take stress, do not carry forward the stress. Yes.
It applies only to the test day. What I'm about to say is, uh, even if you have not done enough on the test day, you have done enough.
It is enough, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
The most important tip. Yeah.
Yeah. Communicate with your teachers. So basically, I would say if we have we may not even since these type of questions are quite familiar to us from the starting, we do not think that अच्छा ये गलती इसकी वजह से हुआ है. We usually think that oh it was a silly mistake. So even if you do think that, do try and communicate with either of the teachers. We have everyone's emails, I think, and we can always schedule an appointment. So do not forget to talk with them. Like I believe we were talking with our teachers even like a day before our test, and that definitely helped a lot. Like, so it is never late to communicate with your teacher. So whenever you feel, whoever you are comfortable with, do do mail them, do trouble them कि this ये हो रहा है पता नहीं कुछ. So and trust me, when I did this, I did not know where I was going wrong in the starting. But but after I talked, I knew that okay, this is what I'm missing. This I'm taking stress, or this is what is happening actually, and that helps you uh, like overcome a lot. Like there was a drastic difference that we could see, but in our scores, even in like 2 or 3 or 4 days time. So yeah, do communicate with your teachers. That is the most important thing. Yeah.
Great.
And
Thank you, guys. That's all from us. We are now open to questions. You can put your questions in the chat box. We will take those alternately, Ishwari and I.
yeah,
If you have a specific question to somebody, then you can mention that as well.
okay. Tushar, would you like to read this?
So, is there a question?
Yeah.
I can't see it in the chat box.
Okay, okay. I'll take
Okay,
it.
I'll just do one
Okay,
thing.
got
Sorry
it.
for interrupting.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting. I
Yes, yes,
think
yes. No worries.
no, no, I'll just change the settings. I'll make it for everyone. I think because of
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
maybe,
yeah. Possible, yes.
yeah, I think I've changed the setting
Intro.
because
Okay,
Atharva sent me a message that he
Okay,
cannot
okay,
put the chat.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
okay. There is a student who wants the introduction again, so I'll go to that slide.
Yeah.
Mm, Hi, Atharva. Hi, guys. I am Tushar Naseri. I am a final year ENTC student at PIT. Uh, this is my GRE score given on the screen.
Yeah. I
With
am
me, I have
Ishwari.
Ishwari. Yeah,
Yeah. I am a final year UNTC student at PICT Pune, and my GRE score is 313. Tushar, I think we have one of the questions saying, from your experience, how many questions correct would lead to a score of 150 plus in verbal? So that since I think I'll take that. Since GR is adaptive, we would say even if you get like 8 correct in your first section, then you have a pretty good chance of getting more than even 155. And Tushar, there is a question called, do we get scholarship based on GRE score? So
yeah. Uh, so actually, you do, but that is not a topic we are
I think
concerned with
yes,
today.
I think
Yeah, we
Mohina
are
or Prachi ma'am can address this
can
better.
take that.
We have just given our GREs to.
Yeah, so there it is definitely possible to get a scholarship, but the colleges will take your entire profile into consideration. So it's not just your GRE score. So we can take this up in another session, or you can consult with the admission counseling team for this.
Right. There is another question saying, what were your average scores in the mocks? So for me, it was a very wide range from 303 to 319, 320. So it actually depends on your mindset. Uh, from your experience, how many questions? Okay, that is what
We have a
should be the
question. How much
placement rate?
time
Yeah.
do you have that?
No.
How much time is needed for preparation? And if you're currently doing internship academics, not able to give that much time, how to manage that and when to give GRE now? So, for us, I'll tell you, we were actually working with a pretty crunched timeline. We had our exams in May, and then we also had internship placement season going on in our colleges. So we were both preparing for that as well. And we had then, considering that we had booked a date in July, first week. So we had the month of June with us for preparation and a bit of April also because we had kept that as, uh, you know, that was our starting point. So in a way. So for us, that timeline was only 1 month. And if you do it in the 1 month religiously, you can do it. But ideally, 1.5 to 2 months is a good spot. It's not too much and not too less.
If you have attended the classes regularly, then I would say 1 month should be sufficient. Um, there is
I'm
another.
interrupting once again.
Yeah.
I think you all have
Yes,
missed
ma'am.
one
No.
question in the by Prasad Joshi.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
just
What should be the frequency of practice analytical essay and after joining? When should we start practicing material?
Okay. Uh, yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Uh, so practicing material, as soon as we start the classes, we do cover a lot of topics from the books. So first of all, do your homeworks on time. Do not miss your homework because that is when you know set your mindset, because there are a lot of things, especially in verbal, I would say, that we sometimes have to unlearn a few meanings that we thought this is the meaning, or this we used to previously think that based on some relation or some contextual meaning we think that okay, this is its meaning itself. So there are a few things that you would like to unlearn. So for that, do attend the sessions, do complete your homework regularly. And after that, I think analytical essay, every time you give a test, make sure to give the analytical essay as well. Uh, you will receive like a proper email with all the description from with all the analysis from the teachers. So that should help you prepare for the next essay. And even if you think you're not quite well with the vocab, there is always the analytical session book that we have. You can keep reading those whenever you get time.
Yeah. So there are a couple of direct messages for me. I'll take those. How did you guys prepare for vocabulary? So for vocabulary, as we earlier mentioned, that you have to do your 1,000 words. That is that is a very important thing because, as Ishwari just mentioned, we have some contextual meanings in our mind preset, and then we tend to take those and then go wrong in questions. So instead of that, you do your 1,000 words, you'll get to know a lot of new words, and that should be enough. Any 1,000 word list is good. And another question is, can we give GRE in October? Yeah, you can give GRE at any time. Whenever you get an appointment, you can give GRE. Just check your own timeline and then book a date.
There is another question. How did you guys prepare for vocabulary? What is the roadmap that we should follow to improve it? Uh, we personally did the Magoosh app, vocabulary app, and the word banks that we get in the sessions. So if you they have a lot of words colliding. So I think um, though that if you do that, it is pretty much enough. What is the roadmap that we should follow? Tushar, would you like to do that?
Uh, Roadmap. So we had done the prefix, suffix, and roots. That helps a lot because that gives a sort of a logical way to to a more like a memory-based thing. So when you know your roots, when you know prefix suffixes, what connotation it gives that root, then that is very logical. It helps you a lot in identifying meanings which you don't know in the question. So you should start. You can start with that, and then of course then the word list, whatever you want to do. If you want to do it at the end, so you want to remember all the words, that is also fine. If you want to keep the consistency and do it regularly, that is also fine. It is up to you. There is a question taking experience and going or directly going. So that is not something we are addressing in this session. We are also yet to join counseling. We will be joining counseling soon. So you can consult the office for that.
Yeah. There is one question, how many words are sufficient? So I would say, uh, do not stick to the number of words. Just select one of the list and follow it, like complete it very religiously. After that, when you give the test, and if you still find a few new questions, then try to do those. That should help. When can we say that we are prepared for GRE? Um, I think you are always prepared for GRE. You just give a mock test, get to know your score, and then you know what exactly to focus on. So like try giving tests after like regular intervals, and then check if you are improving on something, if you are not improving on something, and that should help.
There is a direct message to me. Apart from Oak study material, what should we refer any books? I would say not necessary. As Ishwari earlier mentioned, Oak's material is very comprehensive and exhaustive. So, exhaustive as in it gives the complete training and practice for you. So you don't need anything else. If at all you get your hands on any books, you can try how it is helping you to try a variety of questions. But other than that, it is not necessary. Uh, there is also a question how to be proficient in vocabulary. How many words are sufficient? Uh,
Yeah, I think we
what
covered
when
that.
can we say? Huh? Yeah, we have talked about that. I think it is covered.
Yeah.
When can we say that we are prepared? Yeah, I think you know. Okay. Last 10 days strategy.
Okay. Uh, I think last 10 days strategy would be give as many tests as you want to. Do not overstress yourself with the test. If you think the tests are stressing you more, then stop for a while, go to mixed questions, like mixed but timed questions, and then come back to tests. That would usually help. And do communicate with your teachers during this period a lot. Uh, there is a question saying, how much time did you spend for study every day? Also, how many days dedicated for which session? Um,
Yeah. So how much time do you spend studying every day? Uh, for that, for us, before we started with our semester and our internships and everything, July was the time that we started with our semester and internships and everything. So that was why we chose July first week as our date, and we had exams till May end, the very end of May, 31st of May. So we only had the month of June and we had to make the most of it. We had leaves, we had holidays in those months, in that 1 month. So in those 30 days, we had given it everything. But for you also, if you are planning, so you should plan well in advance, having a window of at least 1.5 months or 2 months, and study very religiously in those few days. How many days dedicated for which section? Equal amounts, because both sections need equal amounts of practice, and it is a lot for both
yeah.
sections.
I would like to
Both
say, do
sections
not
have,
focus
yeah,
on one section, just one section for like a period and then go completely to another section. Keep doing this parallelly, and that should help. I think there is another congratulations, both of you. Thank you.
hmm.
Did you have any kind of fear in your mind when you were preparing for the exam, be it verbal or what? So I think we were both comfortable with quant for for some time, but if you take for verbal, I would say I was very comfortable at the start, but when I saw that I'm making like some repetitive mistakes, it kind of starts bugging you. So at that time, what you can do best is try to figure out what exactly is going wrong, and in this, your teachers can help. Like they can pinpoint what exactly you're going wrong with. So that you can do, and then once you know what you're lacking, then it is always easier to focus on that.
Per
For
day
how many hours?
session.
Yes. Okay. Which one?
That's the same one, same one. How many hours?
Huh.
I think we have covered that. But
Huh.
yeah, go ahead.
We
You can
cannot really
answer
say how
this.
many hours as such, but
Uh,
as long as you are comfortable with all three sections, keep doing it.
how
There's
did you
one
prepare
direct
for
message.
analytic? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm using Magoo's vocabulary builder app. Is it fine for enhancing my vocabulary? Yes, it is pretty much. It is very helpful. Yes.
There's a question. How did you prepare for analytical writing section? So I think this is a place that both of us uh, could have done better. Um, we have scored decently in analytical writing as well, but I think that we did not focus on it as much as required. So you should definitely focus on analytical writing section according to the strategies mentioned in the classes. So do that. Yeah. There is a direct message to me. Currently, I'm
Mhm.
in seventh sem, so I think I'm already a little bit late for fall 25. No, that is not the case. You can
Mhm.
try. You can go for it. And
There are a
because,
lot of people
uh,
giving their GRE
anyways,
in September,
yeah,
October. Yeah.
wait, there's more to the question. But some people suggest me if I can take TOEFL IELTS before GRE, I can at least apply for some universities. I'm not sure about which universities accept TOEFL IELTS before or after, and there are a lot of universities which don't require GRE as well. We suggest you consult the office for this, but you can still try before 25.
Yes, it is definitely not late.
We have the question that is addressed to me.
Yes.
Uh, Tips for score higher 160 plus in purple. No, that's pretty much it. What I told in the presentation that you have to do your vocabulary because a lot of times we don't know the meanings of some words, but we think we do, but we don't. So that what happens is when you don't know the meaning of a certain word and you assume it to be a certain meaning, then your connotation of the question or how you interpret the question completely changes. Might reverse your answer, like you might end up at the opposite answer of what it is actually correct. So don't do that and practice the material. That is very good. You have to practice, keep practicing. That's it. Practice is the key because we you shouldn't even give up that because it seems hard sometimes, but don't give up.
I think
You'll
more
get
than
there.
the prep, you need to keep analyzing yourself of how you're answering the questions. What is your mindset? Or what do you think when you think of a particular question? What do you do when you do not know the meaning of certain words and stuff? How many months are sufficient for GRE prep? I think we have covered that. Uh, like if you're
There
given
is,
all of your time, one
yes,
or 2 months is enough. If not, try giving GRE mock tests, and that should help you understand how much do you need.
there
Um,
is a direct message.
mhm.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm planning to go for the fall 25 intake. So will it be okay if I take my GRE in October or is it too late? Again, this is something you will have to consult with the office because we are only talking about how to take your GRE.
Mm,
And when was the timeline for us? So whatever works for you.
Uh,
And sorry, I'm so sorry.
yeah. No, no.
Another direct message is that I am stuck with a verbal score of so and so in mocks. Any tips? So can you take that?
Okay. In mocks. Okay. So, first of all, try giving the ETS mock test, uh, along with the OAKS mock test as well. Uh, then you would know the kind of words that overlap, and you should focus on what section you are getting more wrong answers with. I am especially someone who was not very good with reading comprehension, and if you ask me right now, like I have asked Prachi ma'am about it quite a lot of times, and then so I right now I can confidently say RC is my better section. So it is completely dependent on your practice. If you're stuck on some score, make sure you go to the root of it, like what exactly, which section is going wrong, and practice that with the timing. And like try to check if it is the timing that is bothering you or if it is the concepts that are bothering you. There is one simple
Yeah,
question. How much
yes,
time did it take for you to get your GRE results after you gave the GRE?
10, 11 days. Uh, I mean, you can see the score after immediately after the test, but your entire report scorecard comes after 10 to 11. It's 10 to 15 days, what they mentioned. That is the timeline.
You would get the diagnostic review of like what question did you give correctly
Answer,
or
yeah.
wrong in like 2 3 days itself.
uh, After you get the score.
Huh. How to research about universities, what sources are trustable, and how to shortlist them. We ourselves are trying to research about universities and shortlisting them right now. So you can always, ask your if you are hesitant to go into the office, you can email or seek help from any of your teachers from Oak, whoever you are comfortable with.
There is the direct question. How many days before the exam did you give the ETS free tests? And which other mock tests did you do? No other mock tests, only OAK and ETS. ETS tests, there are two. So one of those we gave 2 days prior to the exam, the second one, and the first one around a week before the actual exam. So as I said, we were working on a very crunched timeline. So whatever works for you is best. But that can be done still. That you can give the first one a week before, and then the second one around 3 4 days, 2 3 days before the exam.
Yes. Again, I would like to focus on the point that if you have not completed the focus practice on the website or like on your Oaks account, try to do that first before giving your test. That helps a lot. And
There is a direct message. Can you share your GRE exam experience, like difficulty overall? Can you take that?
okay, overall experience, I would say we both took our test in the Oak sector center. So over there, it is a very there is a very the floor is given to itself and stuff, so it is very convenient. Um, so like the at least the previous procedures, the later procedures, they are very convenient at all. What you do inside when you go, once you go, that is completely on how calm you are. So try to not stress, do not look around, do not uh, try, do not get stressed with what others are doing. Just follow your own thing because you are perfectly prepped on the day. How much ever you have prepared, you are enough.
Yeah. When are you planning to give TOEFL? Are you going to join the lectures? So lectures we are not planned yet, but TOEFL we will be giving in August.
Yeah. I
There
think
is
that,
a
yeah.
yeah
I have a direct message. Still not able to
yeah
attempt RC by using tips and tricks when the timer comes, using traditional approaches to it. Right. So I would say try doing RC in like with the untimed section one. Like try to follow only the tips and tricks. Like try to follow those without the timer, and then slowly take like maybe take uh take less questions and a lot of time, and then try to do that. And you can communicate with Prachi ma'am anytime you want
yeah. A
for
tip
like
from Prachi ma'am which particularly helped me with RC was once you understand the passage, the crux of the passage, you focus on the question stem more than the passage itself, because we tend to go to the passage
hmm,
to find answers. You have to find answers with respect to the question stem.
question.
So
Yes.
you can make sure if you're doing that, and then that might help.
I think one of the worst traditional approaches we usually follow is in the question we try to find one key word, and then we go back to the passage searching for that word. So instead of doing that, try to understand what the question is asking and not what the words are mentioned in the question. Um, as we can apply
There are
5 universities as
yes,
soon as
okay.
GRE exam is completed, how to shortlist them before actual application? You can apply to 4 universities first of all, and how to shortlist them, that totally depends on your personal preferences. What areas do you want to go to? What universities or what specializations you are trying to look for? I think.
Yeah, there are a few direct messages.
Hmm.
So if I give my GRE exam in October first week, will it be late to apply for Fall 25?
Yeah.
Take a look at your university deadlines when they take applications. And other than that, if you need anything, you can ask the office. Another is I started my GRE studies 3 days earlier. Can we prepare fully within 1 month? The answer technically is yes, because that is what we have done. We had to
No,
prepare
but
in 1 month. Yeah, we had no option. That is actually a very crunched timeline. So take a few days more if you can. We would definitely recommend 1.5 to 2 months is a good time. Should you have anything to add?
uh, I would say the 1 month duration, if you're giving completely to GRE, then it is perfectly fine. If you are going to like adjust it with something like internships and stuff, then try to like focus on what exactly you're going wrong instead of uh, doing everything. And yeah.
There is also a question: how similar were your mock test scores to your actual GRE test score? So, would you start with that? I think we'll both give answers to this.
Okay. Mock test scores.
Like, how
They might.
similar were those scores to GRE scores?
Okay. I would say you can get a range of what you're falling into, uh, but if you are following the right uh, strategies, your final GRE score would be much better than the mock test one.
Hmm. Yeah, but for me, it was uh, it was the ETS tests were more similar, I found. Maybe it must be the setting of the
Hmm.
question paper and everything for me. But that is a personal thing. So yeah, that's it.
I have a direct message.
Yeah,
Is 315 good marks for mechanical course? Yes. I think anything beyond 300 is considered a fair score. Anything beyond 310 is a good score. Like I think that is what our teachers tell us. And depends on what universities you are going to. If they accept if they accept, even if they accept GRE, they'll not look at just your GRE score. So try to uh, you know, if if
Have a
if you think
yeah.
your score is not enough, then try to like adjust it with other stuff of yours.
We have a very high priority question. I have my exam on Thursday. Any last minute tips?
Oh.
Check
Yeah.
where you are going wrong. That is very important because we had a last minute session, doubt solving session, and that helped us to identify where we are going wrong wherever we were at the last minute. And that is very important because sometimes you are thinking incorrectly about an entire question type. So as I said, RC for me personally, I was thinking in this with respect to the passage instead of with respect to the question stem. And Prachi ma'am has been repeatedly telling in the sessions as well that once you are done with the passage, discard it and focus on the question stem. That is important. So you have to identify where you are going wrong, and that will definitely help you increase your score. You can try doing it and checking by doing a mock test or whatever, and you'll start finding that you are automatically getting the right answers. The explanations start making much more sense, and so on.
Yeah.
So all the best to you for your GRE.
Yeah, all the best. I would like to
You'll do great, yeah.
mention, if you have covered everything, like all of the preparation until now, and if you are giving tests right now, then you have prepared well enough. Do not overdo it. Do not, you know, do not pay too much attention to oh, I'm going wrong, then how am I going wrong. Focus
Mm,
more on
mm,
where you are going wrong, and do not have that previous assumption that this section is not working for me, or this this is why core or something like that. Just try to understand and try to keep calm and try to understand what you need to focus on.
There is a question, which is the first section that comes after analytical writing, quant or verbal?
I think it may depend. It is
But
like
yeah, verbal, I think.
verbal, yeah.
No, it depends. Sorry.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah,
think you
no,
guys saw verbal, but it can be quant
hmm,
or verbal, either one.
Yeah.
yeah, right. It depends, yes.
What are the
Uh,
sources for scholarships and how to
uh,
apply for scholarship and when to apply after GRE score is known or before only? Uh, Honestly, we do not know it too. We are final year students, so we are also figuring out yet. Uh, the only person who can help in this case is the office. So we can always contact the counselors, the office for such things. We just know that you can submit your GRE score right after your test to 4 universities for free. So do avail that.
Also for the student who wanted to who had his GRE on Thursday, please do take a doubt solving session if you haven't already. To you know that I think
Yeah.
I told you that, but I forgot to
Even
mention
if you
this.
think you may not have any problems or something, you can
You might
still
want to
it is
consult.
it is
Yeah.
it is better if you could talk with one of your comfortable teachers.
You can also refer to the Dilip Academy website. There is a resources page over there. You can download a study plan from there. So that might help you. That will definitely help you as well because planned way is the way to go.
Tushar, there is a direct message saying, can you quickly scroll to all these slides? He is joined late.
Yeah, quite a few questions for those to me as well. So yeah, I'll start from here itself. Yeah, this is the
Sorry.
preparation. Yes, I will go ahead. This is for the practice tests. Test day.
For someone who has
That's
not yet started with the prep like rigorously, we have both Prachi ma'am and Mohini ma'am give us proper schedules as to what to do first, what to do next, and there's also the study plan on the Dilip Academy resources. Do follow that blindly, I would say. Like it would definitely help if you follow it likewise. We did it for both the sections and it definitely worked.
second slide. Yeah, just tell me which slide you mean by second. Okay, this one, right? Great. There is a question. I got 298 in my first mock. I have 20 days left. What could be my strategy?
Okay. Are you taking it?
Uh, yeah, okay, yeah. So if you are scoring less, or if you think you are scoring less than what you want to, first of all, I just want to make sure if you have given the ETS mock or the 3 CBT, or at which stage are you basically in the mock test attempts. So if you can confirm that, that would be great. Other than that, if I think that again, where you are going wrong, uh, that might help, because now that you are 20 days before your GRE, you will be prepared. You are prepared. You can check if it's your vocabulary, you can still do your 1,000 words. So people can do it in a day, maybe. It depends on your own speed. That is no reason to worry, first of all. There is no need to worry if you are scoring less. You can check where you are going wrong. As we mentioned earlier, take a doubt solving session with whichever faculty you feel like, and just yeah, if you analyze your score, then you will find out where you are having errors, and your the thinking for that question type should change, because if you are scoring significantly less, then that means that there is not a specific one or two question error. There has to be some type of it has to be a pattern, right? So you have to identify that pattern where it is going incorrect, and then resolve that immediately.
Yes, I
Um,
think you could
yes.
try to focus on what you are uncomfortable with the most and try to get comfortable with that first. Second, get any schedule, like get an appointment schedule with any of your faculty members ASAP. That is one thing that will definitely help you. And another, like if you know what exactly are you having a trouble with, then you should be able to easily overcome that. How difficult or easy it is to get a 4 uh, analytical writing score? How much word count should we write approximately? Um, I think you could refer the uh, analytical section book that we have for how much to write exactly. It is not very strictly like this much words or anything, but you could always refer that for how much to write. Uh,
If I can interrupt for a
yes,
second, what you want to do is probably say 350, 400 words, but remember that it's not the word count that gets you the score, it's the actual content. Ishwari, you can continue with the other part of
yes.
the question.
Uh,
Thanks.
yes. How difficult or easy it is to get a four? It is not very difficult. We have scored four. We have scored around four in
We
our
have
mock
both
tests,
scored 4, yeah.
and yes, so it is not very difficult. If you are scoring, like, obviously give mock tests a try, and those would give you like uh a proper analysis of what exactly you need to add. And if you think there is something like maybe a little vocabulary or there is grammatical errors, then you can always try to read as much as the analytical section essays from the book. That should
Yeah,
help you to
refer
get an
to,
idea of how to write.
yeah, and refer to what the question is asking. So they mention the points usually, so it helps you recollect.
Yeah,
And why are you aiming for? Aim for
yeah.
6.
Aim for six. Yes.
One practical
There is,
thing, sorry for interrupting. One practical
yes,
thing
yes, yes.
I would like to add over here is, because this is something which I noticed when I had taken the GRE. See, here we are supposed to type the essay. And since
Mhm.
school days, we are used to thinking and writing.
Yes.
Typing and writing is something which we are not used to. So I think when we practice, we should be typing and then this thing. Plus, we should type in a notepad, not on a word or this thing where you see your grammatical errors or your spelling mistakes. I think that is one thing which I had noticed. So I
Yes.
think even
Agreed.
that should be kept in mind. Yeah, you can continue.
Yeah.
Yes. And like we said,
There
try
are,
giving it on
yeah,
a PC keyboard rather than a
full size
usual
keyboard.
laptop.
There are a couple of direct questions, direct messages we miss. How do you consider the material from Kaplan Prep Plus and Manhattan 5 LBS? I don't know about the material from Kaplan. I have not uh, checked that. Manhattan, we did get our hands on Manhattan for certain
Yeah, I
some
think we did not
time we
cover
did.
that also. Yeah,
Yeah,
completely.
yeah, we did not do a lot of it, but that was also good. But stick to Oaks, I would say. There is then another question. ETS mock 300, 144 verbal, and 156 quant. So any tip?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, the guy has mentioned his score. ETS 300, mock 300, 144 verbal, and 156 quant. So any tip?
Okay. Uh, I think in verbal, you should, I think we mentioned it quite a lot of times. Try to get which section you're going wrong. And if you are, if it is not just like a particular section that you are going wrong in, then focus on what you are looking out in the answer. Like, uh, first of all, do timed practice and check if you are going wrong with uh, timing or with the concept, and that should help you. For quant, I would say make sure you have completed the focus practice first of all, and if you have completed that, go for mixed practice. And if you have completed both, then you can always redo it if you want. For math, there is nothing like practice.
Yeah, because
And
if you are scoring 156, then clearly you are not going wrong with the concepts. It is the clock which is most
yes,
probably bothering you.
probably.
So practice as much as you can under the clock. Maybe even if you have a have an Oaks book by your side, and if you are having a clock by your side, even a normal
Hmm.
analog clock, that can also do as long as you just have a ticking timer.
It could also
Make sure.
be you are able to solve on paper, but you are not able to answer when the question is on the screen. So that you can always do with the online material. Second, I would like to mention, if in case you think you are a little weak and you need to revise your sections, I would highly recommend you attend the Saturday sessions, because our teachers tell a lot of shortcuts. So that should help in concepts as well as in time. So in case, so that is one very good.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned a lower score for verbal. So for that, again, identify where you are going wrong. Because again, it is not difficult English other than vocabulary. It is, as our faculty also tells, that GRE is not trying to analyze how good you are at English. They want to check your analytical skills in verbal section as well, both in quant and verbal, but in verbal. So there has to be something you are going wrong with, either vocabulary or the way you are thinking, maybe. So find it out as soon as you can. Analyze your score.
I
And
think
other than
ma'am
that, it
can
is a
tell
good score.
better in this
Yeah,
case.
ma'am
So
can,
you can
yeah,
always schedule, and ma'am, if you
you
have
can
anything.
doubt solving apart. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
There is a, yeah,
Just a
Sanjay.
Pranchi, ma'am, go
second,
ahead.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Before
no, go
y'all
ahead.
continue, I'm just launching a feedback form. So, guys, if y'all can just fill that out while the Q&A is going on. So please fill this out. Thank you, guys.
There is a direct message. Should we give ETS mocks first, or should we give ETS mocks last before the actual exam?
One before, one after is what we believe. Like not too soon,
And
but one in the mid and one at the end.
yeah,
Start with the
um, I
pre-CBT.
mean, yeah, I mean, you want to place at least three OAKS tests between the two ETS mocks tests. That is a good combination, I think. Another direct message. Any tips for sentence equivalence and text completion? Sentence equivalence, yeah. I was going wrong with identifying synonyms. So that actually seems very funny now, but uh, that is again as silly as an error that you could be making. So
Yeah, guessing
sentence
synonyms.
equivalence for I mean, where you have to choose between synonyms here, that is the answer. But follow a process, basically. That follow a process, that read the sentence to yourself and ask yourself whether this is the right answer, what connotation the sentence wants to tell. Wherever the blank is located, check the previous parts or whatever follows to check the continuity, or if it's a contrast, check that, and then continuity or contrast with respect to what, positive tone or negative tone, or what meaning they want to say, and then continue with that, or contrast to that. So that will following the process basically will help you identify, because the type of questions is general, right? Even though specific question might differ to specific questions, two specific questions might differ to one another, they are of the same type, so they are to be attempted in the same way. And text completion, uh, oh sorry, I gave it for text completion. Sentence equivalence, I found practicing the highlighted part questions in RC very helpful, even for sentence equivalence, because there you really have to stress on identifying what the question says. For me, it was more for that. So that helped me, but that is just hmm, so that is I think that that is very specific to me. And so usually, if you have anything for sentence equivalence and text completion.
I would say pay attention at the hints of the question, like ma'am sees quite a lot of things. Uh, what the question is asking and how you interpret it is is very important. So try to focus on that. There is another question saying, do bachelor CGPA matter? Uh, yes, it does. Like I think all of the universities have like a uh, minimum CGPA thing. But after that, you can always. I think you'll have to ask our counselors for how much does it matter. Do you have any other questions, Tushar?
No, not in my direct messages.
Mm, Um, yes, ma'am. I think we are done with all the questions.
No, there is another question. Sorry.
Okay.
How did you manage time for verbal during exam? During exam, um, managing time for verbal is a tricky thing because what question type takes more time for you is personal. So I would say a lot more time for whatever takes time for you. If it is difficult for you, if you need time to read the passages, then give more time to RC. If you want to give more time to sentence equals or text completion, maybe because sometimes it takes time to identify what the sentence is trying to say. It is quite cleverly phrased, and it is not uh, easy to identify sometimes. So if you are finding that to be true, then you can allocate more time to that.
I think one of the mistakes that we tend to do is we try to analyze if the question is difficult or easy quite a lot of time.
Mm,
So instead of doing that, try to analyze what the question is asking for exactly.
mm. This is in the exam, yeah,
Mm.
because what I mentioned was exam strategy. So in the exam, don't try to uh, obsess over if it is difficult or if it is easy or whatever. Mm, yeah,
Okay,
Moini ma'am, you can
Tushar,
continue.
uh, I have a very different request. So there is a student,
Yes, ma'am.
Saurav Naik. He wants to talk to you directly. So is that I okay? He's been repeatedly messaging me. So
No
and
worries.
he's Saurav.
Hi, Saurabh.
Hello, Tushar. First of all, congratulations to both of you, Tushar and Ishwari, for your GRE score. And personally, Tushar, since I'm knowing you, I think 10 years we were in the same school.
Yeah,
Congratulations to you for your wonderful GRE score, and you have answered all of my questions. And just to like conclude, I would say that you have really provided us a lot of guidance about how to prepare for GRE, especially verbal, because I've also joined Dilip, and I was facing some problems about RC, but since you got a very good score in RC, which was 163, that is really outstanding. And just wanted to wish you as well as Ishwari, both of you, good luck for the university selection and all. TOEFL as well, all the best for that as well. And yeah, thank you so much for the guidance which you gave to all of us. This much only, ma'am. Thank you.
thank you so much, Saurabh.
Thank you.
That was really nice of you. Thank you.